Hello everybody, I'm Victor Grimblood and welcome to my deck profile for True Dracos, as you can tell by the title of the video. I really like this deck. I've really liked it since it came out. I've never played it full power, like with 3 Masterpiece and 3 Diagram, because when it first came out I had 2 Diagram, 1 Masterpiece, but that doesn't matter anymore because that's changed thanks to the ban list a couple times. So first up I'll have the monsters. There's 1 Dynamite Knight. He searches your trap cards. Really good card. When your opponent activates anything once per turn, either activate a trap from deck or add the trap from, or activate a Dino, no, not Dino, he's Dynamite. Activate a True Draco or True King trap from your deck or add it to your hand, and he's 2500. Next up is Majesty Maiden. I only run 1 because I can only find the 1. I would definitely run at least 2 of her, I think. She has the effect of when your opponent activates any card effect once per turn, you can search for a True Draco or True King. I think it's True Draco or True King. Add a True Draco or True King monster from your deck to your hand. So she can search Dynamite Knight, since you only allowed 1 of him. Next is 3 copies of Ignis. He searches the spells or adds them. He either searches the True Draco spells or activates them from deck when your opponent activates a card effect. Really good for recycling and draw power because that's what the spells do. Next is my kind of personal tech. I don't really see too many deck profiles with these next couple cards in them. Mariamne, the True Draco Phoenix. I really like this card because it lets you get an extra plus off of Dragonic Diagram. Because you can destroy this from your hand to search either a spell or trap off Diagram, and then this lets you search any non-wind worm monster, which any of these, except for her, count for that. So it's a really good card. Next up is the 1 Metaltron X2 12, the True Draco Combatant. I just really like him because if you sack off a trap, spell, and monster, he's immune to everything, and he's a 3k beater that lets you pull out an extra deck monster, which I'll get into when I showcase my extra deck when he dies. And then for the last monsters of the deck is 2 Amano Iwado, just to stop hand traps on your turn. Just summon him and then go off with all your draw power and your summons and everything without having to worry about anything. That's it for the monsters. I'll just leave that little pile over here. Next for the spells and traps, there's the mandatory, I think anyway, 2 terraforming, so that's at 2. You need this because you want to see Diagram as quickly as possible. I'll just leave it there. Next is your 3 copies of Dragonic Diagram. The absolute best card, in my opinion. It gets you whatever you need. It gives all the True Dracos and True Kings a 300 attack boost, protects them from destruction by battle once per turn, and you can destroy 1 card you control during your turn to search any True King or True Draco card. Next is the 2 copies of True Draco Heritage. I would definitely run 3, but I only own 2. This lets you get an additional tribute summon during your turn for a True Draco monster. True Draco or True King monster, I think. I think it works for both. Yeah, 1 True Draco or True King monster, but you summon all the True Dracos since they let you, you can tribute continuous spells and traps as well for them, so you can actually just tribute this card. When it leaves the field, you can destroy an opponent's spell or trap card, and once per turn you can draw cards equal to the number of different types of True Draco or True King cards sent from your field to the graveyard, so it's monster, spell, trap. So if you successfully summon Metaltron, say, and then you still have this face up, you get to draw 3. Or if you summon multiple True Dracos or use Diagram to pop stuff on field, you get extra draws. Really good card. Next is 3 Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix. This card is amazing. I feel like you absolutely need 3 of it just because it lets you get your resources back from grave and get you a draw. So what this does is, once per turn during your turn, you get the additional Tribute Summon for a True Draco or True King card. As well as if both the spells have if they're sent from the field to the grave, destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls. And this is a once per turn you can shuffle 3 True Draco or True King cards from your graveyard back into your deck and draw a card, which is really good for the recycling. Now for the non-True Draco, True King specific spells, apart from Terraforming obviously. There's 3 Card of Demise, because this card is just way too good in this deck. You set all your stuff. If you have a True Draco, you summon it, and then you draw 3 and continue doing whatever you want to do. The downside is that you have to discard your hand on the end phase, but most of the time you can either set your entire hand, summon your entire hand, or if you have like one thing left, it's something you don't necessarily need, because maybe you drew like 2 Ignis Heats. And yeah, then the only downsides are you have to ditch your hand. You can't special summon that turn, but this deck doesn't really special summon a whole lot. It's all about tribute summoning. And you can't do damage to your opponent the turn you activate this card. Which, like, that sucks sometimes, but you kind of have to decide if it's worth it or not that turn. Most of the time it will be. Next up is 2 Shared Ride. I had a duel against a Goki deck, and I just drew like 10 cards off this, and it let me interrupt their play because I was able to summon my monsters and get destruction off of the spells and traps. So what this card does is every time your opponent adds a card from their deck or graveyard to their hand, you get to draw a card. You get to draw a card for each card added to their hand until the end of the turn. You can only activate 1 per turn because otherwise it'd be too broken. And there's no other drawbacks on it. You can still, if you can do damage, you can do damage and everything else. Next is 3 Pot of Duality. This is similar to Card of Demise in the sense that you can't special summon the turn you activate it. And you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to hand, put the rest back, shuffle. It's really good having this. If you like draw this off Card of Demise, you get an extra draw essentially. If you use this and you reveal a Card of Demise, you add Card of Demise and get much more going for you. Next up is 2 Called by the Grave. This card is just anti-hand trap essentially, and if maybe your opponent has something on field that they already have engraved, you can negate its effect also. This is a really good staple card. 2 because you only allow 2 now. Next up is 3 Foolish Burial Goods. And this card sends a spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard. You can only activate 1 per turn. This card is used with Metal Foes Fusion to get an extra draw, more draw power in the deck. You send this to the graveyard, and then you can put this back in your deck, draw a card. It's never even really a dead draw, because you can destroy this from your hand with Diagram, or set it as a bluff. Or like if you have this in your hand after Card of Demise, you don't really care about ditching it, because you need it engraved to get the effect that you use in this deck. That's it for the spells. Just gonna put them to the side over here. That's really bright there though. There's nowhere really good to put that. I guess I'll just put it under the monsters over here. Next for the very limited traps I run, there's the 3 True Draco Apocalypse. I feel like you absolutely need to run 3. Like, you need to run as many of the spells and traps as you can, I find. Just because they are so good and so searchable. So what both of the trap cards do that they have is you can tribute summon during your opponent's turn. for true Draco or true King monsters, as well as when either the traps are sent to the grave from the field, they destroy a monster your opponent controls. And the extra effect that this one has is you can tribute or destroy one other. Is it tribute or destroy? Target one other true Draco or true King card you control, destroy it. And then if you do, all your opponent's monsters' attack and defense are cut in half. Sometimes the attack and defense cut matters. Most of the time, not overly. But it is a permanent cut, which is really good. But a lot of the time you'll like use a true Draco Apocalypse, destroy a true Draco Apocalypse, and then that destroys your opponent's monster, or destroys a spell, destroy your opponent's back row. Or if they're targeting one of your true Draco monsters to destroy anyway, you can just pop it with this and cut their attacks in half. And the last true Draco or true King trap card is True King's Return, which you run 1 because it's at 1. That is the Call of the Haunted of the deck. Once per turn, special summon a true Draco or true King monster from your graveyard in defense position, though, I believe. In defense position. And for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon. But I mean, a lot of the time you do that during your opponent's turn anyway. I do. And even if you do it on your turn, you don't special summon a whole lot with this deck. Next up, there's 1 Phantom Knight's Fogblade. It's just a really good card, I find. I used it to shut down Firewall during in the Goki match I had. And then it's a continuous trap also, so you can tribute it off for your true Draco monster, so that you can then attack the monster you were shutting down with it. Or like if the monster leaves the field by anyways, this goes with it. So that's why this card is personally better than Fiendish Chain, because it does the same thing, but then also if the monster is like used for a Synchro, Exceed, or Link Summon, this goes away with it, it's not stuck on your field. And then there's 1 Solemn Strike, because it's a really good card, and 1 Solemn Judgment, which can't really see much that it is Solemn Judgment. There you go. 1 Solemn Judgment, because it's also just a really strong staple trap card. And that's it for the main deck. 40 cards. And now for my very small side deck, I don't really use it a whole lot. It's just kind of cards that could go in the deck, could not go in the deck. There's another Metaltron, 1 Drea 3, the true Draco Cavalry General. He protects all your other true Dracos from targeting effects. So like if that ever comes up in a match or something, you can throw him in protection. 2 Twin Twisters in case of like any back row heavy decks, really. And then true Waterfall of the Dragon Souls. This card it's a good searcher. You can add a worm monster from your deck to your hand. Or it's also draw power if you want to discard worms, draw cards equal to number sent +1. So similar to like Magical Mallet in that sense, but you get the +1 also, but it has to be worm monsters you send. I mean, every true Draco is a worm. But when I was using that in the deck, I was only using it for the search of true Draco, essentially. And then my extra deck, which you don't go into often, is pretty much just if Metaltron dies. You have all these options. Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. I've never made this, because it's just a piercer. Invoked Ragin, I think I have made that once, just because of the Book of Moon effect. Barbaroid, the Ultimate Battle Machine. I got 2 of him in here. He's just a 4K beater. I think he has piercing as well. 1 Shooting Star Dragon, just because he'd be a really good card to go into if you need just a bigger monster. And I believe he can also negate destruction effects. So, but I'm pretty sure if he leaves the field for that effect, he does not come back because he wasn't properly summoned. And then the last card in my extra deck is the one I use most from Metaltron, is the 3 Crystal Wing Because he's a very good card. Your opponent is like finally able to get past your 3k beater that can't be affected by any card effects, and then you pull out a Crystal Wing. Just to be a dick. Really, that's all he's in there for, to be a dick. And that's it for the deck. Let me know what you think about it. If you have any opinions, I know I should add more trap cards to the deck, like floodgates and whatnot. I hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!